Can these things be requested of? I mean, I don't know if you can request them to Horizon. Can you?
Yes, you can. I was
You
just
can?
speaking with Nathan. You remember you met Nathan during our first meeting, I believe,
I
or
think so. Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
yeah, Nathan. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great community organizer for the Workrooms,
Mm-hmm.
Horizon Workrooms work group, and he says yes. If we, and I'm recording right now. I'm
Right.
recording my headset, and if I record this and post this in the, I believe the LinkedIn Horizon Workrooms group, the developers see this.
Perfect.
And from what I'm hearing, and rumors is that that there is a particular interest in catering to instructional designers, learning professionals. So some of our insights may have extra value. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. Just a rumor I heard, but
Mm-hmm.
we might as well just to bring attention to it.
Yeah,
But I'm
exactly.
recording right now, so I might. So let me. I'll go ahead and say what I'm doing, and what the situation here is. So, I'm currently trying to teach a PowerPoint presentation using my presenter notes. Now, sadly, Horizon Workrooms only allows you to use one monitor, and using presenter notes requires two monitors.
Yeah.
So what I have done as a workaround is I connected two workrooms as a guest login on a separate computer. And if you see over there is for me. My name Kevin. So I am logged in as a separate guest user on another computer. That is my PC Surface Pro. The computer that I have up in front of me is my MacBook Pro. And what I'm doing is I am sharing my PC screen, which is the presentation that has on the standard presenter, or not presenters mode, but the standard presentation. And then I am presenting the exact same presentation on my MacBook, but in the presenters mode. So now I can read my notes and present the regular slide so that the students do not see, or my participants and attendees do not see my notes page. On this particular activity that I have up, it is important because this activity is about testing out people's cognitive capacities, and as a demonstration of natural human cognitive capacity in remembering a limited number of items. So I cannot allow the participants to see my notes because there are words in here that I will be giving them and they have to remember. But if I had them written up there, that would kind of ruin this whole exercise. So I have to have my presenter notes just to me. I have not memorized these to say to go off, off the top of my head. I kind of have to have my presenter notes, but I cannot display them to my participants. So this is the workaround that I've found. I've got my PC connected as a guest, presenting what the students and attendees will see, and then I have my MacBook Pro showing my presenter notes, and I just have to control each one individually. So if I move ahead on a slide, I just have to remember to hit move ahead on both computers, and that kind of is a workaround to the issue. Another notation that I want to make on this video is that if I was casting my headset to another device, I found out right as I started recording this that I would not be able to record at the same time. So that could be a little bit of an issue. And then another issue is when recording, normally I would use my hand here, as demonstrated in my headset, to record. But if I do that, my audio does not come through my microphone. I have to go into this from here, and then it gives me the option.
Mhm.
It's not a, it's
Right. Yeah.
figure
Hmm.
just makes very gently. There was that when
Yes, question. So what there needs to be a workaround for students who need to present. For example, say you have a student project, you need to present something, how that because not every student has two computers. So there's got to be some kind of
Yeah.
workaround for them to present as well. So that solution needs to be also added in to what is needed. Because at some point, again, most classes have you got to do a speech or you got to do a PowerPoint or whatever. You don't have that capacity at the moment. I mean, you do because you have two computers, but most people don't have that. So we got to figure out what's the workaround for that. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You know what? I recently found out. We just tested this out yesterday, and we found that you would not be able to join into a Workrooms group on your phone. Now you can. So that is one
Okay.
thing. So if a student is and they have the ability to bring up a presentation on their phone, they have Power Mobile, they could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
Okay.
explored all of on your phone, but I know you can join the meeting on your phone now, which is a good step in the right direction. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We could not expect every student to have two computers available to make this workaround. And students are particularly the ones that would need to rely upon their notes when facilitating. Like if there was a project, I would want my students, and they were presenting their project, I would want them to have notes available because it's a learning, it's a scaffolding device. It's something that helps students learn how to present and learn the topic better. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I also want to make one other note that I found out recently, particularly with this exercise. So this exercise requires students to get a blank piece of paper and writing implement, and then I'll be stating words, and they will write those down. Now, if everybody here has a computer in front of them, they could use a Word document, an Excel document, or any note sheet on their computer. But what I thought would be excellent is to use the notepad in front of you.
Oh yeah.
In Meta. You think it would be perfect, but the problem is that is a shared whiteboard.
It is.
So that means if each student was going to put their own notes down, all other students can see it. And so for like a knowledge check question, it's like, okay, on your notepad, please answer these questions. One student writes it down, the other students can see what they're writing. And that would also that would make students a little more reluctant to participate, because if nobody wants to appear like they don't know that they don't know the right answer. And if it's on display like that they did the wrong answer, particularly for this exercise, because this is all about remembering 12 different words. And if somebody can only remember 2 or 3, while somebody else is remember like 7 or 8, it can really make them not feel safe and comfortable in this learning environment. So it would be great if the whiteboard feature here at our desktop could be set to be individualized, a kind of a note taking just for that individual in the workroom, that they can take with them, maybe export, or maybe just delete later on. It could be just like a scratch sheet, that they wouldn't need to keep. Anything would be better than having it be a collective whiteboard. I think, but also have the ability to keep that collective as well. I think it's really handy to not have everybody jump up to the board too sometimes.
There's 2 workarounds with that. One, either they can share what's on their desktop, because basically if they can come in with their computers and also like share their screen, they can do that. That's one way. One way you can do it anonymous. I can't even talk about it anonymously, where they can just write on the board and not put their name to it. But then you put two people's handwriting, right? You could probably do that if you do it after a while, right? So that's,
You know what? Tell you the truth, I'm a very bad handwriter. My handwriting is atrocious. And any time, and I'm sure there's other people that are very similar to me. And any time I'm asked to go up to a board, something, I try to figure out some way around it. So here, let me type it up in a PowerPoint presentation. My typing is so much cleaner than my handwriting. And particularly, I'm very bad. I saw your handwriting in here, Keith, and you have fantastic handwriting in here.
Not really. I just trace. I'm not really.
Compared to me, I'm horrible. But I can imagine that some students would be reluctant to write anything because their handwriting is very bad. particularly in this interface. It takes a lot of practice, and I've been trying to practice my handwriting in here. I'm very good with very fat Sharpies. If you give me a very fat tipped Sharpie, I can do okay. But these thin point ones, they're a little more difficult. But yeah, that's another issue. Oh, here is another issue. Keith.
Yes.
At any time, you could take over my screen.
I can?
You can share the screen right now.
Hold on.
I believe so.
Hold on. Let me see. It says you're sharing on mine.
Go ahead and try to share.
Okay, let me try. Okay, I'm trying to share it. No, I can't share.
Well, you can't.
You can't. I can.
Okay.
You can share, but I can't share. I can't override you.
Oh, interesting. I thought you could.
No, you can. I can't override you. I can't do it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, here, how about this? Can you change the room arrangement?
Oh, well, let's try that. Let's try meeting.
I really thought you could change it. Oh, Keith, you just changed our whole room up now. You messed up the class.
Oh, see, so that access is there. That's something that needs to be a safeguard.
Yeah.
Because exactly. So I mean, that needs to be. What was it before? Presentation.
It was in the presentation right now. And now I'm sitting next to you. You changed up my seat, Keith. Why'd you do that?
Well, you give me that kind of power, I can do that. That's the thing, man. That's the thing. That's a safeguard that needs to happen for spaces like this, especially if you're, running the classroom.
Wait, yeah, especially if it's a classroom full of like junior high schoolers, elementaries, K through 12. Can you imagine that?
That'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
And I wouldn't be able to know. I wouldn't know who's changing the classroom up. And what if we were in breakout rooms? The breakout room session. Every time that room changed, we'd have to reallocate it, or everybody has to jump around again. And so it is an opportunity for heavy disturbance in a classroom. And would and I mean, since I primarily deal with adults, and we wouldn't do that. It could accidentally happen. Somebody could be messing around with it,
absolutely.
So that's another feature that should be locked down, or at least a moderated in some capacity. Giving host control and co-host control and things like that. I think would be really important for these sorts of rooms.
Have you tried? If you go on the desktop whiteboard, you can add another whiteboard.
Yes.
Or it's this new whiteboard. I don't know if it's a new whiteboard. Is it a new whiteboard? Is it like the same? Is it a new whiteboard altogether, or is it like an addition whiteboard you can add?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the screen. So I stopped the screen share on my PC, and let's try that out. Let's try this out.
Okay, so it goes the hamburger whiteboard on the left side.
Sorry, my controller is not synced in the proper positioning with my hand right now, so it's like about a foot away from my actual hand. But okay, it's recalibrating. Okay. New whiteboard. And the nice thing is, if you have important notes on this whiteboard, you can then save that as I think a JPEG or PNG. Which is really cool. So let's create a new whiteboard.
Okay.
And now we have a fresh whiteboard for a new activity, and so we can then pen. I got to reset up my desk. My pen isn't touching my desk for some reason. Let me reset my desk.
Okay.
Desk. Reset desk. Oops. There we go. And I'm going to set up my whiteboard. Continue. All right. Now, that is another issue that I think needs to be addressed, is the fact that things can get out of sync so easily, out of whack. I set up my desk board here when we were in the different arrangement, and it was working fine. Then when we switched to this arrangement, oh, you know what? I did stand up. I have a sit-stand desk. And I think when I moved to this arrangement, I brought my desk up, so that may have done it. So, but yeah, that's a little bit of a concern. But yeah, now we have a separate whiteboard. So even though it's a, see, my handwriting is atrocious. I can't.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh,
it's hard to write on these things too. It's not like you're
looks like white bread
writing on a yeah, it's because it's thicker and it's not like you're naturally writing motion that you can write with something like.
Yeah, it looks like a very bad graffiti. Look at Keith. Oh my
gosh. But you know what? That's not good. Hold on.
Oh, you got swirly cues and everything. Mine looks like a bad graffiti artist.
No, I use it like a marker. I think of it as a marker, not as actual pen. So I just treat it like a marker.
Oh, so okay. I just noticed. I can go back to the other whiteboard.
Okay.
So if I go back to the other whiteboard, let's see, 26. Wait, is that?
Oh, you can.
Hold on. How do I? Oh, change. There we go. And loading. Bingo. We got back to that is really cool.
I can do. Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah. So we can have a different whiteboard for each section of the class or different activities, things like that, and
you can share it that way.
Share it that way.
Can each individual have their own whiteboard? Like, for example, they created their own whiteboard. Could they have their own individual one, and then they can share that? Is that possible?
Maybe go to whiteboard number 2 on your display and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, it won't let me go there.
Oh, it won't.
Oh, wait, I can. Hold on. I can do it. Hold
on. Oh, nope. You changed it for everybody.
See, exactly. That's the thing. So that's See, I figured.
That would be cool though if you created a new whiteboard just for you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me get my hands back here. There we go. All right, got my hands back. So this would be a phenomenal capability. Okay. Right. Have each student or each participant be able to create their own whiteboard, and have the host be able to jump to that whiteboard on their display and see what that student is doing.
That's smart. I like that.
Because that way you can have like an activity where each student is doing their own activity. You know, it could be math questions or whatever. And everybody's doing it. And the facilitator, really the teacher is now stepping in the role as a facilitator, would be able to check out what each of the participants, each student is doing.
Right.
And then if they see a student that's not doing it correctly or needs some guidance, they can help them. And even better would be to have a communication just between the teacher and that student.
If there's a way to do that so you can see it individually and not show the whole class, that'd be great.
Yeah. Or I mean, you could do that in breakout rooms. In fact, let's switch. I'm gonna switch up the room arrangement to be a breakout room.
Okay.
And confirm. There we go.
All right.
Okay.
Breakout room.
Breakout rooms. Now, breakout rooms are really interesting. Have we played around with that yet?
No.
Okay. So right now we're at the same breakout room. We can hear each other very well, very easily. If I go and jump over, let me change seats.
Okay.
I'm going to change seats over to this kind of head chair. You can probably hear me just fine, right?
Right.
Now, if I jump over to another seat on the other side of the room.
Right.
Hey, Keith, can you hear me okay?
Barely.
Yeah, you're very far away from me too.
Proximity of it. I like that idea. That's a good adjustment.
Yeah, the spatial audio is fantastic. Oops. Hold on a second. Then you have the main facilitators area. Now everybody can hear me.
Hear you.
Yeah. But so that is a really nice feature. So if we had that feature where, and sadly we only have 4 breakout tables here, but if there was a setup where you can have each student have their own individual table with a facilitator spot, then that means that each student could be doing their own activity and then the facilitator could jump over to that student, like see what they're doing and be like, oh, okay, I see they may need some help. Or they can even say, hey, I need some help, and you have like a red light or something, and the facilitator can jump over there and talk directly with that student individually without everybody else getting involved or being disturbed by it.
That'll work.
So that would be another really cool feature that would help out the whole facilitation thing.
Exactly.
In
more
fact,
spaces too, actually. Yeah.
there is a. I'm going to switch over here now.
All right.
There you go. There is another program out there, or another called CloudShare. Have I told you about CloudShare?
I think you kind of did, but not. Yeah, I don't recall. But just tell me again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, CloudShare is now. I guess it was originally intended. I just found out about this recently. Let me bring up here. What it is? Zoom.
Right.
Is that but everybody has or has their own system logged into CloudShare from their computer. Facilitator has tabs for every single student in the class.
Okay.
And that student is using that tab to do whatever activity. It's typically software, so they're like learning there. And then at any time, the facilitator could jump over and kind of look over the shoulder of the student to see what they're doing by clicking on their tab. And if the facilitator sees that the student is not doing it correctly or needs some assistance, he can then talk with that student. Kind of a little mini breakout room. So just like that, like we were talking about here in Horizons, but in this CloudShare program. So that's a solution, but not in the metaverse. This is only kind of a Zoom team style sort of thing. But it would be great to have that sort of feature here in the metaverse.
It would be. In the future, when anybody giving them notes, say, hey, we need all this stuff to teach people courses and things like that. That'd be nice.
I'm for like this with that a lot of, but I think these sort of demonstrate reality.
Oh yeah.
And so but that's what I think that's what this needs right now. I think that would really help out facilitators and instructors to use effectively.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. I like those things.
Of